This is Rob Tebbutt for ID Boxing. Delighted to be joined by Shane McGuigan. We're here at Alexandra Palace in the immediate aftermath of another typical Adam Azim performance, a second round stoppage win over Rylan Charlton. Shane, first and foremost, congratulations. Another brilliant performance from Adam Azim.
Yeah, great, wasn't it? Special talent, special fighter. And I think, we're now starting to get the message across to people how good this kid is.
Anything surprise you about tonight? I spoke to you a few days ago. You said it maybe go 3 or 4 rounds. It was, lucky to go past one. Rylan Charlton dropped twice heavily, tottering around the ring at times in that first round. Bravely made it to the second round, but was taken out mercilessly by Adam Azim.
I know. I feel like if you look back at what I said in the interview, it said, but it could go very early.
Always give yourself that out.
Yeah. Well, because I think I knew deep down, if you actually had put a gun to my head, I would have said he's going to take him out early, because I just knew Rylan's going to come out swinging, try and catch him early, because he knows that if Adam starts getting into the fight, getting his jab going, it was going to be a hard night for him. So, he walked on, got caught, I think, like a right hook over the top of the head within about the first 20 or 30 seconds. Then the next time he threw a jab, he sort of slipped left hook, but he lifted it up, and he was badly hurt from then on.
One of the things we've spoken about in the past is Adam, having that success, flashy hand speed, punching power, getting guys hurt, and just, sometimes veering towards the end of getting a little bit excited. Were you happy with how he responded to hurting Rylan Charlton tonight?
Yeah, because, I mean, no disrespect to who he was boxing before, but there wasn't anything coming back, and there was nothing that he had to really be aware of coming back, whereas obviously Rylan can punch, and when you've got a guy like that can punch and they're just swinging, someone like Nigel Benn was at his most dangerous when he was hurt, and someone like Rylan Charlton, because he's got perilous hooks, obviously you're going to have to be selective when you are attacking. When you have someone hurt, you just still set up behind the jab. So happy with it. He's 20 years of age. He's just going to get there quick, but he needs to learn these lessons at this stage, because when you get up to the top level, they can hold a better shot. He's still going to be buzzing people at that top level. It's just they'll be cuter. They'll be able to shield up, get through rounds, can tie him up. So all lessons. I feel like he sometimes gets a little bit angry and pent up. So kind of happy with the song as well beforehand, because kind of must have calmed him down backstage. Obviously piano, and a phenomenal singer, so that's kind of probably a good thing.
I have to have a word with him about the old Chris Eubank Jr. ring walk tune after that, but it's still Dre. I'm not sure George Groves would be best pleased.
I know, and he also adopted the gloves indoors look as well, which is very Junior-esque, which I feel like we have to maybe have a little word about, but goes with the assassin nickname.
Who next?
Trying to now go away from,
Why are you trying to go away from that? Just not very PG?
No, I just feel like, it's better than assassin.
I quite like it. I like the assassin and the hitman. I quite like it. I'll be the judge of the nicknames from here on out. Thank you very much. But anyway,
the best one would be Adam the Dream Azim, but
Devin Haney's got that as well. Yeah.
Then again, Devin Haney's probably nicked it off someone. It's all regurgitated, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll stick a pin in that. Watch this space for a new nickname for currently the assassin, but soon to be something else. Yeah, I see what you're doing there. Anyway, so who next? What kind of level? I mean, I think it's fair to say sort of Rylan Charlton, sort of, I don't know, English title level, maybe around thereabouts. What type of level are you looking to bring him back?
But no one's done it the way he's just done it. Do you know what I mean? Florian Marker took, I think it was like 7 or 8 rounds. Also got dropped up at welterweight. He's had some hard fights in between that, obviously. Luke Willis outpointed him, but no one's done it like that, and I think it's one of two things. People are either going to be queuing up to fight him because they're thinking, well, I'm going to be headlining on Sky Sports and I'm going to go and give him my all, and if I get knocked out, he's a superstar. That's one way of approaching it. Or they're going to think, there's no money in the world that can get me to fight that guy. So we'll see. We'll see how the next... We're going to have to go quite quick. A couple of weeks is what we got to really secure an opponent. I would like to fight Lucas Balliol. I feel like he's a good fighter. I feel like I'd like to give him an opportunity, because he's had to go and box out in Russia, I think it was, or Belarus whenever it was COVID times. He took a really hard fight and tough guy. He's going to give us rounds, and that's what we want.
Elsewhere in the Azim clan, Hassan remained unbeaten, 5-0 now with 2 stoppage wins. Went the distance, took a couple, gave a couple. What did you make of his performance?
More measured than the last time. Hassan's got lots of power. He might not have looked it tonight because the guy was quite tough. He's good at taking the shots, but I think we're going to see the best Hassan whenever people are coming to him and actually having a go. When he's got to switch on, because he's done lots of work with Sam Gilly, did lots of work with George Mitchell, in the build up to this. He sparred good guys. He's been sparring guys that are competitive rounds. He might win a couple, might lose a couple, and that's where he brings out the best in himself. So when you got a guy that's not necessarily going in there to survive or like not throw any punches, survive. He's still winging back, but they're countering every like 4th or 5th attack. So you're like, oh, I've got away with that 1-2. Don't have to roll out. Throw another 1-2. Oh, there's a left hook. Shit, well that looks a bit sloppy. And then they're getting frustrated. So yeah, he got caught about 7 uppercuts and maybe 6 too many. So when you work and feeling like he can fight short but without losing his vision. I think typical amateur boxer, he's turning pro, he's great on the jab, great on the 1-2, got good feet, got good fitness as well to be able to maintain that distance. That's elite amateur boxing. But there's little cues to get on the inside and like make yourself small, look at their chest, don't look at their head, see where their elbows are going. You don't need to, like, if you see someone's elbow going, take a side, right? Like in terms of an elbow coming out to lift, and you think, I'll just take that side, just in case an uppercut comes or a left hook comes. Shorten the range, having your bringing your legs in underneath you. So this stuff takes time, and him being Adam Azim's brother is never an easy task. You got your brother going out and knocking someone out like Rylan Charlton in 2 rounds, and just can fight on all ranges, and he's a year younger than you. But Hassan's a great fighter in his own right. He just needs to learn the system. He needs to learn the game, and he also needs to learn what style works for him the best. So yeah, we're gonna keep working on him and gradually up the opposition.
When can we expect to see both Adam and Hassan back in the ring? I spoke to Ben Shalom. Ben said for Adam, potentially February, knowing him and how much he wants to get back in the ring and how quickly he likes to get back in there. When are you thinking?
I'm thinking January 21st. Now I'm going to say to him, we're boxing on that card. He's got Ramadan coming up, so he needs to get, within his contract, he needs to get 5 fights. So he's going to have to go and get his fights in quite quick. Obviously we're not going to headline that one, but we could potentially go chief support at the one before that. But Sky are going to want to headline him all the time, and we're pushing for that as well. And you see performances like the way he does, what he's just done, and the way he goes about himself. He's a star in the making. But it's also great to continue to get experience on bigger shows, because he's been on Calm Brook and stuff like that. But it's like having a higher position with a better opponent in those stadiums. So I want him to go on that one.
Do you think there's a chance that he kind of foregoes the British title like Naz did, like Frampton did?
Yeah, he will do. I mean, like, Josh Taylor became a unified world champion. He went Commonwealth, then he didn't even go European. No,
because Yigit had it and he wouldn't fight.
Yigit didn't want to fight. Frampton was going to go British title because he's a Protestant kid. He wanted to fight for the British title. Scott Quigg had it. They probably would have got 30 grand each. They didn't. They ended up waiting and making themselves lots of money for unified world title. So obviously Dalton Smith has the British title. That's a fight that's going to be there. It's going to be there in a year's time, 2 years' time, potentially 3 years' time. So that's a builder. So yeah, we'll probably swerve the British title. Not swerve Dalton Smith. We'll just swerve that route. And the great thing is that he is potentially going to be headlining 3 times this year. So that allows us to have a budget to bring in good opponents. Like, Chris Algieris of this world, guys that are potentially former world champions. Lucas Ballingall's a decent British name, and then we can go to former European champions, potentially fight for a European title, and then just get guys that are former world champions. It's a bit like Conor Ben's done, because he's had the budget to do it, and it just draws more attention, and they're also going to give you more rounds, in my opinion. So.
Right, before I let you go, let's recap on last night's boxing. Mystic McGuigan, we put out some bits and pieces. You got them all right. I don't want to dwell on it too much because your head's already big enough. But what did you watch last night, and what did you make of what you watched?
It's metaphorically big enough and physically as well.
It's enormous in all aspects.
Not as big as your fucking Swede. Yeah, I thought, let's start with Franklin. Didn't think he won the fight. Didn't think so. I thought in those mid rounds, if Jermaine Franklin didn't hurt Dillian Whyte in the 9th round, you would have been happy to give away all of those. I think he won the first 2 rounds, 3 rounds, but his shots were getaway shots. They were like keep away shots. They weren't, I would call them, for a rude sake, fuck off shots, not like hurtful shots. They just stay back. And Dillian was controlling the pace. He was tipping the jab. He was well in control. He got hurt because he switched off, and then that swung everyone's opinion in my opinion. And then he came on strong and hurt Franklin in the last round, and he won the championship rounds. So it was close. I'm not going to say it wasn't close. I feel like Franklin won a lot of rounds. He nicked quite a few rounds, but it wasn't convincing. You're coming over here, you're boxing a guy that's been a mandatory challenger for a world title for a long time. His 3 losses are Povetkin, which he's avenged, Joshua, who became a unified world champion, and Tyson Fury, who is seen as the best heavyweight in the planet. So, Franklin's boxed Jerry Forrest. It's his best fight. So you can't sit and try and pot shot and try and steal rounds by like having a go for the last 10 seconds. Do you know what I mean? I said it before, he's tough and he stays within his shell. But it was a good mid to close range heavyweight fight. There was not a lot of holding. There was a lot of decent action, a lot of good body shots from Dillian sunk in. But I think his best days are behind him.
Zach Parker versus John Ryder. You picked John Ryder to win that one. I don't know how much of it you would have seen if you were watching Whyte Franklin, but did you see the ending of the fight?
I saw the end. I saw the highlights that BT put out on YouTube, so there was enough in it to see. Like, there wasn't much heavy shots gone in, but Ryder's just come off a win with Danny Jacobs, and he has competed at a top level. And I don't know what's gone on with Zach Parker's hand or thumb or whatever he said, but he knew it was a hard night's work. He's 4 rounds into a fight. He's got a guy that is called a gorilla walking in on you, and not a massive one-punch knockout artist, John, but he's a consistent puncher, and he's extremely physically strong. And I felt like he was going to grind Parker down anyway. So with one hand, he just didn't give him the satisfaction of staying in there. He got out.
And finally, another one of your correct predictions, Regis Prograis against Jose Zepeda claims the WBC 140-pound title. Quite sure you wouldn't have been up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to watch that one, but another win for Regis Prograis, and he's a world champion again.
Well, I was up. I was probably winding my child. But yeah, I wouldn't have been watching. Wasn't watching the fight. Also, what channel was it on?
It was on Fight TV.
Well, I don't have that.
You have to pay for it. It's a subscription, not subscription. You pay for it. It's on the internet, on the World Wide Web.
Oh, yeah, I'm shit at that sort of stuff, especially with smart TVs. It gets lost with me. Just subscribe to DAZN.
You've only just subscribed to DAZN?
No, I think I might have subscribed and then unsubscribed and then resubscribed. No, I'm joking, Eddie. I did subscribe. No, but I don't have that. I don't have that platform. So no, but I saw the knockout. It's a good one.
Certainly was. As was tonight, Adam Azim. I'll leave the final word with you on him. What can we expect to see from Adam Azim in 2023?
Many more nights like that. 5 more nights of knockouts, gradually increasing the opposition.
Okay, well, Shane McGuigan, congratulations. Again, another successful night for McGuigan's gym. Look forward to catching up with you soon. Thanks very much for speaking to ID Boxing.
See you next week if you go into it.
Fury, Fury-Chisora, yeah, I'll be there, yeah. Dubois versus Lorena.
Yeah.
I'll see you there.
You should.